Our Beautiful Night, Part 3. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. Artwork by Felly Boo Boo on Instagram. You can find a link to not only the Instagram account, but also the post in the description box. Make sure, if you have an Instagram, to go give the artist lots of loves and comment on her works. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so and hit the bell to stay up to date on the latest parts of your favorite fanfiction. And if you haven't seen the previous 2 parts, go back, find the videos, there's a link in the description box, and go ahead and watch those, otherwise you'll be a little confused. If you are still listening to this intro, comment Intro Squad in the comments section. Now then, Our Beautiful Night, Part 3. Marinette looked down the corridor suspiciously, taking her time to glance from left to right. No neighbors in sight, which also meant no Cat Noir in sight. Okay, cool. She'd gotten a knock at the door, which turned out to be a package delivery to her. Okay, cool. It's not like she'd been expecting him, or feeling her heart rate accelerate at every noise from the hallway. Looking for something? Marinette jumped at the voice behind her, bumping into its owner. It was Cat Noir! You! Her tone was frigid as she jabbed her finger into his chest, narrowing her eyes. Me? Cat pressed a hand to his chest, trying his best to look innocent. What about little old me? Yes, you! Why didn't you kiss me last night? It wasn't what she intended to say, but the words were out there and she wanted to know. He blinked as a grin splintered across his face. Cat promptly tried to wipe it off, but a glimmer still shone in his eye. 60-40. 60-40? I don't want to kiss unless I'll get kissed back. I would have kissed you back. Standing like a statue with your eyes closed? Not the most flattering, I have to say. I went 60% of the way, my love. The least you could have done is meet me at 40. He had a point. Grumbling, mostly due to pride, Marinette made her way back inside. As embarrassed as she was, she didn't want him to go. I hope you like waffles, she called over her shoulder. At 2 p.m.? I can't think of anything better. He paused, putting on a serious look. Unless you don't have syrup. Marinette rolled her eyes. Yes, available in blueberry, strawberry, or straight maple. So, speaking of kisses... Cat bounded in front of her, cutting her access to the fridge. Wanna try again? She shoved him out of the way. You never stop, do you, kitty? She didn't look up right away after speaking, but she could feel a warmth from his direction. When she finally turned to him, she found a soft smile and nostalgia on his face, as though he were looking at the love of his life. Her ears burned at the thought. She was the love of his life, but was he hers? She was open to dating the guy, but it's not like she was set on her feelings for him, much less a happily ever after. Here. He grabbed the box from the freezer. Toaster or microwave? Microwave. Thanks. She heard a few beeps before the microwave began to hum, leaving her without a topic of conversation. So, how long have you lived in this complex? 4 days. Her eyebrows shot up. 4 days? 3 nights. He grabbed the syrup from the cabinet. No wonder she hadn't realized who... Does this mean I'm in for a reveal? A reveal? You know I'm Ladybug, Marinette said, grabbing a cookie from the jar she kept on the counter for Tikki. But I have no idea who you are. Are you asking me to reveal my identity? He placed a hand on his forehead and clutched his chest like a damsel in distress. My lady! How the times have changed, she chuckled. Surely Hawkmoth doesn't have his miraculous, does he? Cat made a grim face, then patted his chest. I have it. Really? She couldn't contain her curiosity. How did you get all of them anyway? Can't tell. Cat's honor. Could I seduce you for the information? He looked startled, but laughed. My lady, you've certainly matured over the years. I don't think I could even dream of you asking for my identity as a teenager. Are you dodging the question? No. He smiled to himself, just laughing to myself at the irony. That I'm asking? No. That we sat next to each other at times in school. Did she hear him correctly? We were classmates. He opened the microwave. Yeah. Seriously? Seriously. I bet you even had a crush on me at one point. The comment made her laugh. On you? As a teenager? Yeah, right. Didn't you just ask about a kiss? Hush, you! But first we were classmates and now we're neighbors. What are the chances? Of having an annoying neighbor? You don't realize how sharp your words are, princess. She smiled, her face softening. Knowing Master Fu, I'm not at all surprised that we went to school together, looking back. Although I wouldn't have guessed it in a city of over 2 million people we'd take classes together. I was nearly decomposed when I put 2 and 2 together. Oh, you were that disappointed in my identity? More like myself. Call me conceited, but I bet you would have dated me had I asked you out. Yeah, right. I had the crush of the century on Adrian Agreste back then. I know. His response was so smug she wanted to smack him. Was I that obvious? You're the one who called it crush of the century. Cat had a point, regardless of her embarrassment. But if Adrian hadn't been so oblivious, she wouldn't have made a fool of herself so many times. If she could have a word with that boy again, she'd probably slug him on the chest for what he put her through, even if it wasn't actually his fault. So you think I'd date you, knowing that I liked Adrian? His smile was so smug she had to physically fight herself from rolling her eyes. Yes. Are you sure we went to the same school? I think I'd remember someone as conceited as you. Are you gonna have the pancake or not? Cat took a bite, as smug as could be. I'd say don't change the subject, but it seems you'd let me talk in circles for forever if I keep going. Do you want to know who I am that badly? I'm curious, Marinette admitted, but honestly, I have so much love for you. Even if you were some kind of outlaw, it wouldn't stop me from loving you. He raised an eyebrow in a coy smile. Love, you say? Oh, shush. You know what I mean. About that kiss. He trailed off, tilting his head to the side in a way that showed off his jawbone. Marinette grabbed the plate out of his hand, leaning in to call his bluff. As expected, Cat clammed up, clearing his throat as he tried to appear nonchalant. Too bad his cheeks turned pink. He might have leverage to tease her with, but at the end of the day, he wanted to date her too. Goodness, she was getting ahead of herself. So we've had 2 dates. When's the 3rd? Tonight? Cat suggested, suddenly perking up. Good. She gave the plate back to him and tugged him to the front door. Leaving so soon? Bye, Cat Noir. What about the plate? We're going on a date tonight. It's not as though we'll never see each other again. Cat looked at the pancakes, then back at her. Okay, he said, wearing the same dopey grin he had when they were partners. Taking her by surprise, Cat leaned in, placing his lips on her cheek. It was far more intentional than a mere brush of skin. A peck? Would that be the best way to describe it? Whatever. Feeling her cheeks burning from the gesture, Marinette shoved him out of her entranceway and into the complex hallway, closing the door behind him before pressing her back to it and sliding down. Tikki? She asked, waiting a few moments before breaking the silence. Yes? Her Kwame floated in. Is it true? Is what true? We were classmates? Tikki looked away, sighed, then nodded. I'm afraid so. What's there to be afraid about? Marinette laughed, bopping her friend's head. Tikki, in turn, remained silent, turning away and floating to the kitchen. Hey, wait! Where are you going? Tikki? Tikki! Strange creature. The day passed before she realized it, and Marinette found herself curling her lashes with no time frame as to expect her leather-clad boy. Oh, well, he'd show up fashionably, at least. Add some flair and you've got a classic Cat Noir entrance. She heard tapping from her balcony and rolled her eyes, sliding the glass open as she saw his silhouette outside. What? She smirked. Can't use the front door? Have you figured out who I am yet? Is this going to be some dumb game where I get 3 guesses or something? Cat laughed. I wouldn't do that to you, Bugaboo. He tilted his head to the side and smirked. Although, I'd give you 3 hints if you wanted them. Pass. There's something attractive about the unknown. She grabbed a cardigan from the chair before stepping out to the balcony. You think I'm attractive? Against every instinct of mine, yes. You say it like it's a bad thing. No matter how attractive you are, you'll still always be my Cat Noir. Your Cat Noir? Yes, the Cat Noir I've seen sent flying over downtown because he wiggled his butt at an Akuma victim. He clammed his mouth shut at her comment, his face a painted mixture of disgruntlement and embarrassment. That one time, he muttered under his breath. Oh, I've seen you shake your hiney at Akuma victims plenty of times, she continued, trying to stifle her laugh as she teased him. I guess this isn't the mood for that kiss either, huh? Why do you keep asking for one? You're the one who brought it up first this morning. Whatever. Where are we going? Dinner. Let's skip the details because the dinner isn't what's important. And skip the details they did, because at the end of the night, Marinette knew she wasn't going to remember what she ordered or the inside jokes from their past. No, instead, she'd remember this moment here, on the balcony, as the wind caressed her face and Cat Noir caressed her neck with his hand. She'd remember the scent he wore, nameless and charismatic, and she was sure he'd memorized the scent of her shampoo. But oh, she'd never wanted to know who this man was more than when she locked eyes with him, nearly melting in anticipation of what they were about to do. He brought his face close to hers, hesitating a bit, then leaned even closer. Marinette knew what to do. Closing her eyes, she pushed herself onto her toes, locking lips with the man she'd grown to adore over the years. It tasted like danger and excitement and a little bit like primavera, but Marinette didn't mind. She felt herself melting as they pulled apart, his arms holding her for a moment before slipping away. "Claws in," she heard, and opened her eyes to a blonde man standing in front of her. Blonde? Marinette didn't know why she hadn't entertained the idea that Cat Without the Mask would also be blonde. He looked at her, sheepish and guilty as he withdrew his hands behind his back. It was Adrian. Her partner was Adrian Agreste, also known as Cat Noir. "Are you mad?" Marinette wore a soft smile. "I always wondered what happened to you." "But are you mad?" He tried again. Lifting herself onto her tippy toes, Marinette pressed her mouth to Cat's, Adrian's, again, and felt him hesitate, then relax, then wrap her in his arms. Oh, bella notte. Here she was, kissing and getting kissed by the man she loved in so many different lights, under a moon and stars. How could she be anything but happy? Breathless, Marinette smiled as they exchanged their third kiss. Indeed, this was a beautiful night. Thank you so much for listening. You can find other Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction on this channel, including more MariChat. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell if you've made it this far. I kind of feel like I earned the subscription, you know what I'm saying? Like I did my job. I entertained you. Subscribe for more entertaining videos. Anyway, I'm begging at this point. For those of you still sticking around, comment, "This is a beautiful night" for my comment squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!